Hi, my name is Dr. John Douillard, and welcome to LifeSpa.com, where we prove ancient wisdom with modern science. And today, I want to talk to you about how to hack the tendency to gain weight in the fall and the winter. You know, at the end of the summer, all the high carbohydrate foods just happen to be harvested. All the grains are harvested, the nuts, the seeds, the beans, all the fruits. Mammals are generally gorging on these carbs right now to store a whole lot of energy, and the extra energy as caloric intake gets turned into fat to insulate for the winter months to come. So it's quite a natural thing for us to store a little extra weight in the winter and gorge on carbohydrates this time of the year. In fact, humans should be more carbohydrate burning in the fall, this time of the year, and become big time fat burners in the spring. So everybody's talking about eating ketogenically and never eat any carbohydrates and never eat any grains. But the reality is, if you look at nature did all of it as part of a big, huge annual cycle of nutrition. We had higher protein, higher fat foods in the winter with the nuts and the seeds and more meats and proteins. We had low fat foods in the spring, forcing us to burn our own fat. The nuts, the leafy greens and the sprouts and the berries of spring forced us to be big time fat burners in the spring. And in the summertime, when we have all the fruits and vegetables and the grains at the end of the summer, force us to be carbohydrate burners in the summertime and into the fall. So the three best-selling diets, low fat, high carb, and high protein, all exist in nature for 4 months of the year. High carbohydrate in the summer, low fat in the spring, and high protein and fat in the winter. So, you know, of course, you all know I write and publish a free monthly grocery list according to seasonal eating, which gives you information about recipes and grocery lists and superfoods for every single month of the year. It's called the 3-Season Diet Challenge. You get that for free. Really important based on my book, The 3-Season Diet. But we still have this thing where we tend to want to gain weight in the winter. And a lot of us are like, I don't want to eat all those carbohydrates because I'm going to gain weight and I don't want to lose weight. And here's the reason why we need to hack into the natural tendency to gain weight this time of the year. One of the reasons is because we don't need the insulation that we once needed when we were hunter-gatherers living in caves. Number two, we are not moving into the winter in the spring where it's a famine time of the year. Think about, you know, all the traditional cultures did all their fastings and vision quests in the spring because there was no food. I mean, you gather all the stuff at the end of the summer, you make it last the best you can. By spring, it's gone. You're waiting for stuff to come out of the ground. It's a hard, austere, low-fat time of the year, forcing you to burn your own fat, and that resets fat burning for the year. This is nature's way. But at the same time, we don't really have that famine anymore. In fact, most of us already have stored a ridiculous amount of fat because we've overeaten the caloric intake in the first place. We have all this fat being stored in our fat cells because we eat too much food. One study showed we eat about 500 calories more than we should per day. Another study showed that the average American eats 100% of the food that they need, and then they go about eating another 100% of the foods they don't actually need, which is sort of a lot, right? So if we can and studies show with calorie restriction, if you eat 25 to 30% less calories than you normally do, all kinds of magical things happen. You live longer, you stay healthier, you fight off all types of chronic issues. Powerful, powerful medicine to eat less. So that's sort of the general theme, is we should just eat less and things would get a lot better. But at the same time, when we move into the holiday season, it's a little tricky to eat less because we're in the holidays and people are baking breads and all these kinds of things. So it's an important time of the year to understand how to hack that. So I wrote this article about how to hack the winter weight gain, which I think is really interesting. You can read the article here at LifeSpa.com associated with this video. So check that out. But some of the tips are hacking the mealtime. Studies show that if you eat breakfast and lunch versus the same number of calories at lunch and dinner, you lose significant amount of weight, because the circadian rhythms tell us that we should be digesting during the daytime and sleeping at night. So our ability to digest and get rid of those calories as energy and burn them is going to be way better, of course, way better during the daytime. So we should eat during the daytime, and most people historically did that. That's why they will call the meal in the evening supper, because it came from the word supplemental or soup. In many cultures still just have a little bowl of soup, particularly when you're in the agricultural parts of those cultures in Europe versus the cities. Different rules take place when you put everybody in one big city together. Another one is what's happening also this time of the year are all the roots are being harvested, which are powerful liver cleanses: dandelion, burdock, Oregon grape, all the berberines, all these herbs that cleanse and flush your liver. So make sure you're getting more of the leafy greens and more of the roots and the root vegetables in your diet this time of the year, because those roots are being pulled out of the ground in the fall, because they're the last things we pull out, because we're usually eating the beet tops and all those things, but the beets and all those are so valuable to help get the liver to move, to flush everything to go out and down, and they're powerful weight loss agents, which is really important as well. Triphala, the three fruits of Ayurveda: Haritaki, Bibitaki, and Amalaki. Three fruits. Amalaki is a repair agent, supports the natural repair of the intestinal tract. Haritaki tones the intestinal wall, and Bibitaki scrubs like a scrubber and cleans it out. And many people take Triphala as an after-meal scrub to scrub the intestinal tract and clean it out, and that can support a healthy and an efficient intestinal tract. And a healthy and efficient intestinal tract supports better assimilation and better detoxification, and of course that translates into better natural weight balancing to get the weight that you desire naturally. Also, this is the time of the year when people should think about doing some detox, because those bitter roots are harvested, and those are natural things. In Ayurveda, we have what are called ghee or khichdi cleanses, the combination of ghee and khichdi, powerful ways to cleanse. I produced an ebook called the Short Home Cleanse ebook, which is a free 45-page ebook about how to do a natural 4-day digestive reset and seasonal detox at home for free. So download that for free. It's called the Short Home Cleanse. You get it on my website at lifespa.com. It's really cool as well. And then other things that I think are really important are understanding that the daylight is changing. We're going into the winter, and it's getting darker earlier. And we have two powerful hormones to help us regulate light-dark cycles. We have vitamin D, which is in fact a hormone, in the daytime, and we have melatonin at night. So studies show that the more daylight you get, the more sunshine you get, the more melatonin you make. Melatonin is something that is decreased by not getting enough daylight during the day, but also getting too much daylight at night, or too much lights. Blue light from your LED screens, your computer screen, your cell phone screen, your TV screen, or just lights in your house. Light up the house. The sun went down at 5:30. You're still up at 11:30 or 12. That's 6 hours of decreased melatonin per night. And melatonin is directly linked to, or lack of melatonin is directly linked to weight gain. People get their melatonin levels balanced, they actually start seeing better weight. So I've written a ton of articles on how to naturally bring your melatonin levels into balance with sunshine, with lifestyle, with diet. There's foods with melatonin in it. So definitely read those articles. They're in the circadian medicine section of my website at lifespa.com. So check that out. But also, if you're a little bit older, or you want a circadian reset, or you've got jet lag, or you're a night worker, then you may want to consider melatonin supplementation. And the key to that, if you ever did that, and it's extremely safe, is to know the exact precise dose that you get. You go to the health food store, they sell 5, 10, 15, 20 milligram tablets. It's enough for a horse. We got to realize that we probably need very, very little. So we use one where one drop is 0.1 milligram, and you can amp up from there and start to learn how to dose yourself correctly so you don't overtake something that you don't actually need, which is really important. And melatonin is the only hormone And hormones generally don't do this, so they sometimes call melatonin a molecule. It's the only molecule / hormone that doesn't suppress the production of your own. And by definition, hormones in fact do that. You take a hormone, it will suppress the production of your own. Melatonin doesn't do that, so it's therefore not classically a hormone. It's the only / hormone that doesn't actually do that, which is pretty cool. Vitamin D, we all know 87% of the people in the Northern Hemisphere in the winter are deficient in vitamin D. And vitamin D, to be hormonal, needs to be over 45 nanograms per milliliter, and the normal range is 30 to 100. So a lot of folks say, I'm 30, I'm good. You're good for rickets. You're not going to get rickets, but to get the hormonal benefits of vitamin D, which we lack desperately during the long winter months, is you want to make sure that you're taking usually 4,000 to 5,000 international units per day, but get it tested and make sure you're averaging between 50 and 80 nanograms per milliliter as your goal for vitamin D. I like taking vitamin D in the morning when the sun is out, with your breakfast, with your big fatty meal, and then take your melatonin at night, or your melatonin-rich foods at night. But look into that. Many, many ways. All those, vitamin D, melatonin, those bitter roots, the Triphala, all these have good science to show that they support healthy balancing of your weight, healthy balancing of your intestinal tract and digestion. So please read the article associated with this video and learn how to hack the tendency for us to gain weight in the fall and the winter. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard. Hi, did you like this video? Do you like our content here at LifeSpa? You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/John Douillard right here and get this valuable content every week in your inbox.
This recording is brought to you by LifeSpa, where ancient Ayurvedic wisdom meets modern science. Get access to free health video newsletters by Dr. John at lifespa.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.